Cheers guys, operator Starsky here. Today we are going to talk with soldier Jane, except she's not a soldier, she's a sergeant. And recently she have returned from Severodonetsk, Rubizhne, Lysychansk, those areas where she operated with her troops. I'm happy to introduce our Jane.
How many shell shocks do you have? I have 4. 2 of them are officially registered, but I have 4. How did you get them? I received my first shell shock in Rubizhne. I remember this day and I call it my second birthday. It happened on 14th of March. When I was a kid, I watched the Mythbusters show, and in one of their episodes they said that this blast wave cannot throw people away. And when the shell landed right beside us and I've been thrown away at the fence like a little toy, as well as my partner, and I've been lying down, closing my ears and thinking they were so wrong. You can pass your greetings to the Mythbusters. I think that Adam Savage would be happy to know that you have debunked their episode. How did the invasion start for you? I felt some kind of anxiety. That time we were already deployed in the Donetsk region. At first we were sure that it was just another training, but then our commanders told us that the war has begun. The missiles hit Borispil as well as other cities in Ukraine, and strikes have begun. And only then we realized that that's it. The full-scale invasion started. What kind of tasks did you perform specifically in Rubizhne and Lysychansk? Specifically your squad. In Rubizhne we were defending. At the beginning of Rubizhne we were covering the direction of Voyevodovka, because Voyevodovka that time was already occupied by Russians. Then we had to move out a little bit, and we have divided the city between Russian troops and us. Of course, it was really hard because they had tremendous amount of artillery. They were increasing their shelling at first, and then, after a small pause, usually they were trying to begin their advance. And such advance wasn't always well considered. They didn't know where they were, they didn't know the location well, and in most cases they almost had no equipment. Some of them had no rifle, they had helmets, uniform and magazines. While observing at my position, I saw 3 men. They were simply walking down the street, looking around. They looked very curious. They walked towards the fence, peeked inside, and started walking towards our position. And where did they go? To nowhere. Some of the most professional troops of Russian forces consisted of Katyrovaites. They've had an advantage because they've had a very good air reconnaissance. They've had massive amount of drones. Whenever they were advancing, they would pick 1 or 2 positions, and then they would open their fire at those positions specifically, without dispersing their fire. But they wouldn't do that constantly. They would move in, open fire, and move out without staying there for a long period of time. But of course, there were those TikTok warriors as well. For example, when we were on the observation point, we heard some kind of shooting and explosions far, far away in the direction of our enemy. So we understood that it was required to make their TikToks. So there are combat Kadyrovites as well as informational Kadyrovites. Yes, exactly. So 3 months on the front lines. What exactly helped you to keep a great fighting spirit, in your opinion? Actually, we were trying to support each other as much as we could in different situations, as well as our relatives. You were raising your spirit with the help of different yummies that were delivered to you. Have some rest. We always tried to understand people who felt tired, and we gave them plenty of rest. And we tried to support each other as much as we could in such situations. And what can you tell about your boys that were trained, educated and put on their feet by you? What's your opinion on them? If you knew that they would never hear your words, what would you say about them? They are very tough. Whenever we had to go to such places that you had no idea if you would ever return back, it was like you and you, we go together, sure, no problem. And even when the city of Rubizhne was almost completely destroyed and demolished, but they did absolutely great. They would always hold their positions until the end, until they were ordered by their commanders, like commander of company or platoon commander. No one would ever leave. They are very tough, specifically considering their very young age. They are so strong in spirit. So then there's a final question. What will you do after our victory, after the war is finished? I will become an officer and remain in service. I am very fond of my service, and also I like, let's say, destroying the stereotypes regarding women in the army. My results are recognized, and my boys, as soon as I received my position, they had different attitude towards myself. They probably thought that I was just a girl, what could I do? But later they realized that we're doing the same activities on the same level, and I'm not spending my weekends somewhere at the cinema or somewhere else. When I return home, I spend my time learning some kind of new specifications or learning topography, for example, because we have to go to a boot camp and we have to do something there, and I know that they appreciated it. I don't want to quit the army. Thank you so much and good luck. I'm sure that you will succeed.
So today I asked our commander if it's possible to give our Sergeant Jane a day off specifically to make this interview, because I'm making this interview for Ukrainian media as well. He agreed, and basically this is her day off today, but still she's going to go to the base because her guys are arriving from the front lines and she wants to meet them. I can say that she is one of the best sergeants that I personally know. I think that after this war is finished, we will have a lot of experienced sergeants and officers, and of course her experience will be very valuable for our army. My name is Operator Starsky. Thanks for watching.